And so I want to just bring everything current and walk you through all of that. For those of you who maybe are unfamiliar with the case, although I'm sure everybody has heard about it at some point by now, Nancy Guthrie is Savannah Guthrie, the host of the Today Show. She's her mother, and she went missing back in, what was it? I guess it was early February, right? And nobody has seen her. They believe she's been abducted. There have been all sorts of ransom demands that have been accepted, and they say that they will put the money in the account, yet then the ransomer isn't actually giving them any sort of information. So it feels like it's kind of like a false promise. It's just been awful. And in the meantime, there have been a lot of searches, a lot of things discovered, but nothing that has pointed to what happened, who was responsible for this, and the most important question of where is Nancy Guthrie? So go ahead and revisit some of my older episodes if you want to get caught up with like what happened right when the abduction first happened, the initial pleas, the initial speculation that it was possibly a family member by adjacent to the family, a spouse, and that's now since been ruled out. They have said nobody directly or indirectly connected with the family in terms of bloodline or spouses is appearing to be a suspect. So there's just been a lot. So what I want to really do with this episode is pick up where we left off. And that's where we really left off with another ransom note that had happened. The footage came out of the Ring doorbell camera footage, or the Nest footage rather, of the person coming up, approaching Nancy's house, trying to dismantle the camera, not being successful in doing so. So then they take a few steps back, they grab the shrubbery, they rip that out of the ground, they try to use that to block the lens. And this person on camera looked prepared. I mean, there's no denying that. This person had a backpack, a full mask, gloves. They had a holster in the front of their crotch area, which was really weird, with either a gun or a gun-like taser, which usually people hold those on their hips. So I'm not sure why it was at the front. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but that's where we left off. So where I want to go now is what happened starting around the 10th of February. Because on Tuesday the 10th in the afternoon, police, FBI, and search and rescue had returned to her other daughter, Annie Guthrie's house, and they started going door to door talking to neighbors, asking for cameras, asking to search an RV that was in a neighbor's yard, and just still canvassing the area. Then, later, 2 armored SWAT vehicles departed the sheriff's office in response to a situation with a potential person of interest. And this is what kind of got everybody not up in arms, but very hopeful that this actually was going to be something tangible and it would lead to Nancy's rescue or recovery. So a 3-hour-long manhunt was conducted by Tucson PD, Pima County, and surrounding sheriffs, including the FBI and Border Patrol. Police scanner chatter also confirmed the manhunt and confirmed that it was in relation to the kidnapping or abduction, and that the suspect was carrying a rifle and a revolver. Around the same time, TMZ also reported that there finally was activity in the Bitcoin wallet and that $300 had been transferred into the account. Now, that wasn't the full ransom amount, but it was a small amount, and my belief is it was put in there to see if they would take the bait, to then maybe possibly track them forensically through their digital footprint. I'm not sure. But during all of this whole search and the manhunt and all of that, police pulled over and detained a man named Carlos. So they actually pulled him over too while he was attempting to deliver a DoorDash order, I believe. So he was put in cuffs while the police conducted a full search of a residence that's connected to him. So then around the same time as everybody's listening to this police scanner chatter that's going on, rumors began swirling to speculate that an 84-year-old woman was being airlifted to a nearby hospital in Tucson, and that because that age aligns with Nancy Guthrie, that this woman, especially happening in tandem with this arrest, that it must be Nancy Guthrie. However, it was never confirmed, and Nancy's location to this day still remains unknown. So during the search of the property, Carlos's mother-in-law, who owns the home, speaks out to the press. And it was pretty interesting to see what she said. She said, he could never do this. He's my son-in-law.